Welcome again to the Paducah Human Rights Commission show, Raising the Standard. We're glad that you decided to join us again. I'm Commissioner David White, and I have with me co-host Commissioner Shalon Jeter.
Hello.
And we're here today to talk to you just a little bit about our educational initiatives for the Human Rights Commission. So we have with us Commissioner Shaveen Duncan-Herring, our chairperson of the Educational Initiatives Committee, and also Mr. Robert Tashin from the McCracken County Extension Office, Extension Agent for 4-H Youth Development. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
At this time, we're going to take a moment to explain the mission of Paducah Human Rights Commission. PHRC advocates human and civil rights. Anyone living in the Paducah McCracken County area has the right to live in the area equally. Never should anyone be discriminated against because of their race, their color, their national origin, their religion, their sex, their age, nor their disability. And however, there are cases when people have been discriminated against. PHRC urges mediation and reconciliation. If you feel that you've been discriminated against, or maybe have questions or just not really sure, don't hesitate to contact our office at the Paducah Human Rights Commission.
Thanks, Shalon. Back to our guest. Thanks again for being here. Shaveen, let's just start with you. Why don't you overview the different educational initiatives that we have going with the PHRC.
Okay, thank you again for having me. The PHRC Educational Initiative allows an opportunity for organizations in the community to partner with the PHRC on an ongoing partnership. Currently, we are collaborating with the Paducah City Schools, McCracken County Schools, some other organizations, as well as other agencies such as the McCracken 4-H.
Wonderful.
Great. And that's the reason we have Robert Tashin with us today. So why don't you just back up for a minute and tell us a little bit about 4-H for those viewers that aren't familiar with 4-H and what your mission is.
4-H provides opportunities for youth 9 to 19, but that's not the only youth that we work with. We work with youth of all ages. We work with families, parents, but primarily 9 to 19. And so our main mission is to provide opportunities for kids here in McCracken County that they may not get any other place. So the key for them is that we want to make them productive citizens. And we want to, since McCracken County is so urban, it's so much different. We're probably the most urban county, we have to admit, in the western part of the state. We have to provide opportunities that you wouldn't normally find in 4-H, in a traditional 4-H program. So that's why we like to partner with groups like the Paducah Human Rights Commission so that they can get opportunities, see what the world is like, get a chance to check out what parliamentary procedure is, and just do something a little bit different.
So the government aspect as well as trying to make them good citizens.
Absolutely, 100%.
And we have been working with you some with the Teen Club. So
Yes.
tell us just a little bit about the Teen Club itself.
Okay. Well, the Teen Club is made up of, and it's a countywide and citywide teen club. We have kids from St. Mary, CCA, Paducah Tillman, our county schools, all over. There are times when you can't have school clubs during school time, and you try to have after-school clubs. Some kids have to work, some kids have athletics, academic team. So we try to do a county-wide school club, and it always meets on the second Monday of each month. So our kids get together and we try to do a variety of things so that they can get a taste of something different, not the same thing all the time. And so when you approach me about partnering, I was very excited about this because I thought this is a great chance for our kids to meet a diverse group of people and to do something different and see, you know, something about Paducah City and what goes on in government.
Exactly.
And so far we've been able to catch the Teen Club and have them come to our December meeting.
Yes.
So they got to see the formal commission meeting. And also last month for February, our chairperson, Dr. Belt, was able to come give a presentation on Black history.
Right.
And how has that gone over with the team?
Oh, they're super excited. As a matter of fact, we had one young lady that as soon as she came back from the club meeting, she was like, Mr. Tashin, I've got my bio. I want to join this group. I want to be a partner with the Paducah Human Rights Commission, and so I'd like to be able to attend their meetings. And so I was like, all right,
Excellent.
you know, you've got your bio. That's great. So Dr. Belt did a wonderful job. The kids are super excited about it, and they're prepared for the Fair Housing Luncheon. And of course, the later, Yeah, so I'll probably have
Good.
a few that'll be able to get out of school and participate in that. So it's just a great opportunity for our kids.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
Yes.
excellent. And we're hopeful that maybe the teen club can come together to help maybe do a public service announcement.
Absolutely, they would love that.
And put that together for us. That'd be great.
Yeah, yeah, I know they're super excited about getting to do a little bit of everything and anything.
Yeah.
Well, I love it that PHRC is partnering with the kids in the schools. You know, it gives the kids a foundation. We're bringing something positive. The kids are our future, so we're giving them a solid foundation for the community. And Commissioner Duncan Herring, aren't you doing something with the schools
Yes.
as far as the teams and everything?
Yes, we are. In regards to the educational initiative,
Mhm.
we are partnering with the McCracken County schools as well as the Paducah City schools. Their middle school, we are targeting the 8th graders.
Wow, okay.
In the high schools, we will be targeting the seniors. Of course, in some of the classes that we're already scheduled to present educational sessions, some lower grades, 9th, 10th, and 11th graders will be incorporated in some of those educational sessions within the classrooms. We'll be presenting human rights and civil rights educational sessions for the 8th graders at Paducah Middle School, as well as Paducah Tillman High School. And some of the courses that we will be incorporating, some of the educational sessions will be African American class, as well as a business economics
Yes.
class, law and justice class,
Wow, okay.
psychology class, as well as
Global issues.
global issues. That is correct. Thank you, Commissioner White. So we're very, very excited about getting into the school system here in Paducah, McCracken County, to make the awareness of human and civil rights issues available to the students within the community, and the superintendents of the city as well as the county schools have approved and accepted an ongoing partnership with the Paducah Human Rights, and we're very, very excited about that, and we are looking forward to an ongoing partnership.
And I think this is the first time PHRC has partnered with the schools, isn't it? And 4-H, isn't
Oh yeah,
it?
it is the first time with
So
4-H.
PHRC is raising the standard, right?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
I'm just so excited about just us dealing with the youth and partnering with the schools. It gives a foundation for us as far as the community. They're going to make better families, better husbands, better wives, and better productive citizens in the community.
Yes.
And aren't you doing something with the seniors as well? We're not leaving them out, are we?
No, we're not. In
Okay.
fact, we already have a date scheduled to do an educational session with the Paducah McCracken Senior Citizens Center. We're looking forward to that, presenting a human and civil rights mini educational session
Okay.
for the citizens that participate with the Senior Citizen Center.
And that's wonderful. And that's going to be, although they're seniors, I'm sure they're going to be telling you some things.
And
you
we're-
know, back in the day, we used to do this, you know.
Absolutely, and we're very excited to be partnering with them, because oftentimes as we get older, we tend to think people forget about us.
Yes.
So we want everybody in the Paducah, McCracken County community to know that the Paducah Human Rights Commission is here for everyone, regardless of your age.
Yes, exactly. We are a working board. This is what we're doing. We're working. We're reaching out to the community, and it's wonderful. I'm excited that we partner with 4-H as well. Our missions are similar. And we just want to thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
Commissioner
thanks
White,
again.
did you have anything else?
Yeah, thanks again. Appreciate it. Robert, thanks for joining us. And again, we're very happy to be able to partner with 4-H, which is well established in our community and works throughout the different schools, and to be able to pull students from each of those into the teen club and incorporate the human rights education in that. So thanks again for coming.
Thank you.
Shaveen, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it. When we come back, we're going to have our chairperson, Dr. Bernice Belt. She's going to come on and talk to you about our two events, the Evening of Performance as well as the Fair Housing Luncheon, both coming up pretty quickly, and we're excited about that. So stay with us for our second segment. Welcome back again to our second segment, Paducah Human Rights Commission show Raising the Standard. Again, we're talking today about our educational initiatives with the Paducah Human Rights Commission. In our first segment, we had Commissioner Shaveen Duncan-Herring, our chairperson of our educational initiatives, and Robert Tashin with 4-H Group here in Paducah with McCracken County Cooperative Extension. In our second segment, we have our chairperson, Dr. Bernice Belt. And
hello
welcome.
there.
Welcome,
Hi,
welcome.
Commissioner White, Commissioner Jeter. You're doing an outstanding job. Just gets better and better. Thank you for having me on.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, if it's okay with you, I would like to reiterate some things that we've already covered at our board meetings since last year, last early spring, and that is the vision for the Paducah Human Rights Commission. And at that time, Mayor Bill Paxton was our great mayor, and he and I visited so many times, and I always had a really good, solid understanding of how he believed the Human Rights Commission ought to be, how it ought to conduct itself, and the things it ought to accomplish. And it was right in sync with my vision for the Human Rights Commission, and of course that means that it encompasses our community, our county as well. And so let me say this, that during the months January through March of 2012, the mayor and I talked about expanding the mission itself, not to change the content of the mission, but to expand the mission in terms of how we would operate, how we would respect and honor that mission, and how we would respect and honor our constituents, which of course are our taxpayers and our future taxpayers.
Right.
Oh, can I get a witness on the future taxpayers?
Yes.
And so we talked about making sure that the spirit of the mission was always solid, always strong, but we were like the tentacles of an octopus. We were always stretching out this way, always moving about, trying to figure out how we could impact that mission for the benefit of Paducah, McCracken County, and also to impact even cities and counties around us, because we know we're not in a vacuum. And so whatever we do in Paducah, McCracken County, it's going to impact other cities and counties and states all around us, because we are on the World Wide Web, so you know the whole planet has access to what we're doing. Then we were in sync with collaborating with nonprofits and businesses in Paducah, McCracken County, not only to educate employees and maybe even owners and managers and supervisors if they would allow us to, but also to make sure that employees understand their human rights, their civil rights, but not to do it in such a way as to insult the business owners and the nonprofit overseers and all of those supervisors and things, because the last thing we want to do is ostracize anyone. And so when we are working through the vein of human rights and civil rights, we always want to take into account that even the business owners, even the people who run the nonprofits, even the managers and the supervisors, they are also humans who have rights. They also have civil rights. And so we keep in mind that even when we have complaints come to us, we have to understand that there are two sides to the complaint.
Absolutely.
And so we are fair and we're honest, we're honorable about it, we're practicing full integrity, good character, and of course, I know I'm preaching to the choir because both of you are in sync with that as well. Both of you are very passionate, very sensitive, and compassionate about all people. And so we want to make sure that the community and the surrounding communities know that we are also always showing respect to the persons for whom the complaint may be against. And many times when we are trying to mediate and reconcile and mend relationships in any way we can, sometimes we find that there's some good on both sides and maybe some things that are not so good on both sides. And that mediation and reconciliation is all about each side understanding where they need to fix some things and where they need to appreciate some things, and maybe they can come back together. And that strengthens the community, and that humane side of things is developed. And then to incorporate our youth. Earlier you talked to Robert Tashian with the 4-H of McCracken County, and he has been working with those teens for so long. He is somebody's leader.
Yes, he is.
And then Shaveen Duncan Herring, who is the student success coach at WKCTC, out of which we are taping now at Paducah too. Right. And she's working with students and what we would call non-traditional students many times. And so we're constantly trying to figure out how to help people become better at who and what they are. And so when we look at it that way, we look beyond that strenuous, scary thing called Paducah Human Rights Commission that people have stereotypically felt we were not approachable, that we would kind of sit around waiting for a fight, that we were all against the employers and things like that. So we're trying to change that through education, and we're trying to take the young people with us, because when they become the 18 and older, they are going to be in these situations, maybe as an employee, maybe as a tenant, maybe as a supervisor, maybe the person in authority, but in whatever the case may be, they need to understand and they need to honor human rights and civil rights.
Sometimes as leaders in our community, because they are our future leaders as well.
Yes, yes, we kind of forget. We want them to become great citizens, but sometimes we forget to take them along with us so that we can help develop them and we can empower them so that they can become great citizens. When we look at our children and we want them to be seen and not heard, and yet we want them to be successful citizens, you know, that's kind of like trying to mix oil and water, and you can shake it up and it looks like it for a minute, but when you leave it alone, it all settles and it separates, and all kinds of inconvenient, uncomfortable things happen in our society when we don't value our youth right now. And I was the why child. My daddy had 7 daughters. You know, he was on the prayer list forever, don't you know? And so I was the why kid. And when I was growing up back then, you didn't ask why, you just did. But I was the kid who majored in why whoopings. I asked a lot of questions, and finally my daddy got it. He started to understand that children cannot be children, and bam, one stroke after midnight on the 18th birthday, all of a sudden they become these great adult citizens. My daddy got it, and when he got it, he became different in his parenting style. Well, citizens in leadership like you and I, we have to understand that this transition, this process of beginning as a kid and becoming an adult, there is no breaking point. There's no division. What do you say about that, Commissioner White, as a police officer also? Oh,
absolutely. And I think a lot of our youth, their first exposure to a more multicultural situation or to a more diverse setting is their college experience. Certainly in communal living settings and that sort of thing.
Yes.
And so it's good to watch them grow, and I think we're constantly, we talked about before the show as lifelong learners, you know, and I think that's important.
Yes, and then as a police officer, even with the police department, you and the team at Paducah Police Department here in Paducah, Kentucky, you have consistently been trying to change the stereotype of the police department, period, so that you interest young people to consider a field of law, the field of law enforcement, so that
absolutely.
So they're empowered to think bigger and better and beyond the little vacuum I think sometimes adults put them in.
Yes.
Exactly.
As it relates to part of the vision, and that's the student intern initiative that for all intents and purposes falls under both the educational initiative and the community outreach initiative. At our most recent meeting, we agreed upon unanimously to bring in 5 more student interns. All 5, this group, all 5 are from Paducah Tillman High School. And
they are awesome.
Aren't they awesome? Oh my goodness.
And ready to work.
They're ready to work, ready to get involved, helping us to promote whatever we need to promote as it relates to our mission, our areas of jurisdiction, human rights, civil rights, and all the things that we know we must do. Ms. Newsom, who's guidance counselor at Paducah Tillman High School, she is our liaison, and she was assigned by Principal Art Davis. Principal Art Davis used to be Commissioner
Right.
Art Davis on our board, and so when he was presented with this initiative, he was so excited that he didn't put me on hold. He immediately talked to Ms. Newsom, assigned her as our liaison, and it took about a week from the time she and I first talked until she had all of those
Had our
letters of
boardroom
interest.
full.
Oh my goodness, bios and all of those things, and letters of reference, parental permission. In a week, we were 100%. And then at our recent board meeting, they were presented, they
Yes.
attended,
And they were impressive bios.
oh my goodness.
These kids, I'm just excited about the internship program. But as far as how long are we going to continue this? I would like to see it go forever, but what's the vision on it?
Forever, forever. And Commissioner Jeter, this group is eventually going to graduate.
Yes.
So we had, I think we had 4 juniors and a senior, and then
yes.
we have one more junior or senior who's going to be coming along from Paducah Tillman High School. We will also be, of course, looking at the county high schools and even the Christian county, Christian
Community
school.
Christian Academy.
Yes, yes. And then maybe recruit through Girl Scouts
Oh,
and
yes.
through 4-H, McCracken County
Right.
4-H Teen Club.
St.
Yes.
Mary too. We don't leave them out
Yes.
of all the schools in our county. And also, you know, it's kind of a new program for us in that it's we started it out in 48 years of history. It's the first time we've had high school age interns, and so we're learning as we go, aren't we?
Yes, we are indeed learning as we go. And also, let me say this, that when this was introduced, and you know how our board is, we have such a great board.
Yes, we
we
do.
are phenomenal, and I'm bragging, yes I am. But as soon as I cast a vision, you realized that I'm not the only one with a vision. Each and every person on our board has vision. And somehow or another, it just flowed so beautifully. Commissioner White, if you would share the next phase for our student intern initiative.
Yeah, the next phase is to try to incorporate some sort of project for them. And so our vision here is that we get good interns from several of our county and city high schools and get them not only involved in coming to the meetings and learning how government works in the setting of the Human Rights Commission, but also to take that passion that they have that brought them to us and to incorporate that in some sort of project within their school. Could be presentations in their school, could be posters or something that could be put up and have educational information on it about human civil rights. And so we're pretty excited about that.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I think as the program develops, I think we'll develop a better structure to it. I think we have a good structure now, but I think that we can certainly improve it and get them more involved.
Absolutely.
And keep them moving.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Commissioner Jeter, you were asking, you know, how long is this student intern initiative going to go on? I said
Yes.
forever.
Yes.
Well, each year we will bring in more students, juniors and seniors. And as the seniors graduate from high school, if they are in good standing, and I am presuming already that they will be,
they will.
that we will have a plaque from the Paducah Human Rights Commission presented to them either at some awards program or during graduation. We'll work that out with Principal Davis because he's a big boss over there. So we'll follow his lead on that. And also to provide a stellar letter of recommendation and
Yes,
acknowledging their
absolutely.
service with us that'll go into their student portfolio or their portfolio as they go along in their lives. And then annually continue to bring those young men and women in and do our part.
Incorporate them.
Yes,
Yeah.
incorporate, yes, it's a good word. And do our part to prepare them for this part of life.
Well, now, Dr. Belt, I hate to interrupt, but we could talk all day on this program alone. Maybe we should have a show just
Okay.
for our
I know.
interns.
All right.
That would be
bring
wonderful.
There you
them
go,
in.
co-host.
Yes.
Okay.
And so, but we're going to move on because we
Okay.
want to cover a couple of our other initiatives that we
Yes,
have going.
we
Shalon.
have the Fair Housing Luncheon coming up. You want to tell us about that?
Yes, April the 11th of this year, and this is annually, every April, we will have our 16th annual Fair Housing Luncheon. It will be hosted at Walker Hall right here in Paducah, Kentucky. It will be catered by Walker Hall, and we have a great lineup of program participants. We have community volunteers who will help us at registration and help us in any way that we need. And we will have the annual proclamation. It will probably be a joint proclamation between Mayor Kaler and the City of Paducah and County Judge Executive Van Newberry and from McCracken County. We will have a speaker, Mr. Steve Irvin, who is with what organization, Commissioner White?
He's working with the City of Paducah.
With the City of Paducah.
Particularly on the Fountain Avenue project.
Yes.
What we're focusing on.
Yes. Stellar success. Stellar success.
Neighborhood
Anybody in the viewing audience who hasn't driven through that neighborhood, you need to go do it because you're missing you're missing looking at a miracle.
Yes.
And he has been the lead person. He is very quick to give credit to so many. But you know, you always need a leader, and I like to give credit where it's due. And he is a stellar citizen, stellar lead person in our community.
Now tell our audience to switch to the Evening of Performance, our second major event of the year.
Yes, the Evening of Performance will be our seventh in the history of the Human Rights Commission, and it will be May 17th at the Carson Center, and it is called Evening of Performance. We will have persons ranging in genre of performing arts, from spoken word to gospel choir to contemporary singing, to poetry, to improv, and to ethnic dance and liturgical dancing, and you know, it's such a wide range of performing arts. We will have special features who are local. We will have persons who are locally and regionally. We will probably have somewhere between 14 and 16 acts, and they will represent different organizations, they're individuals, musicians, bands. Oh my goodness,
it's
going
just
to
a
be
good time.
It is a good time.
And it's free.
It's free.
It's free.
The Evening of Performance is free, and you can dress comfortably. I like to put humor in everything whenever possible, and dress comfortably. Just cover up all your cookies. That's all we ask that you do. That's all we ask you do. And during the course of that evening, it's going to be from 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. During the course of that evening.
And hate to cut you off, but we're running a little bit short on time. So give us the dates one more time for each of those events.
The annual 16th Annual Fair Housing Luncheon is April the 11th. It will be at Walker Hall. It will begin promptly at 11:30 a.m. It is free, but the meal catered by Walker Hall is $13 per person. 2 meats, 3 vegetables, assorted desserts, tea, water, boom, boom, boom. And then the 7th Annual Evening Performance is May 17th at the Carson Center, and it is free. We will have a caterer at intermission for refreshments for that.
Okay, thank you. Thanks again for joining us.
Yes,
thank you so much.
And we're glad that you decided to join us today. Again, this has been the Paducah Human Rights Commission's show, Raising the Standard. If you didn't catch it here, catch it on YouTube. It's available through the WKCTC Channel 2 web link, and you can find it there. Again, have a great day.